One thing that struck me, Mitch, as I was reading about your latest book is just how phenomenally well all your books have done. And so I guess congratulations are in order for that,
thanks.
because, I mean, must be nice. But why do you think they have been so successful, and not only in this country, but in places like Ireland?
Yeah. You know,
You should say, Katie, because they're really, really good.
Katie, because no, I wouldn't say that, because I've tried to think about that, because to be honest, as you know, I mean, I think you were one of the first people I talked to about Tuesdays with Maury early on. That was an accident. I mean, that was a book written to pay Maury's medical expenses.
Right.
It wasn't like I was sitting around going, oh, how do you write a book that millions of people are going to read? In fact, they printed 20,000 copies of it and thought that would be it. I thought I'd be selling them out of the trunk of my car for the rest of my life. So when that became popular, it really sort of stunned me, and I asked myself the same question too. Well, what's the big deal? You know, this is just me and Maury. As time has passed, and it's been a long time now, I think if I had to break it down, it's that people can slide themselves into my books. Either they're me asking the questions of an old man who's dying, or they're Eddie and the 5 people you meet in heaven wondering if they mattered on earth and asking the questions that he did. There's always a character in my books that asks questions, usually about, you know, kind of bigger things about what's life about or whatever. Mm-hmm. And maybe, if I had to guess, that would be it, that rather than just being a plot, a story about a particular character might be fascinating, interesting, but you're done with it, you put it down. People embrace these books, give them as gifts, and say, you know, I'm in there. I see myself in there. And you know, it's not like I'm aiming at them that way, but that seems to be the way they respond.
And they really deal with universal themes, and as you said, sort of questions, and I think relationships at their purest in a way, you know, and I think people appreciate that, and that's probably why they gravitate to them as well.
I also don't rush to write them, and that may help. I don't have a schedule, and which is very rare in the publishing world. I mean, generally, if you're at all successful in publishing, they want you every year at the same time. They want to carve out a little weekend every year that's when you come out. And I've always said I can't write like that. And it was 6 years between Tuesdays with Maury and the 5 people you meet in heaven, which was an eternity in the publishing world. And they said, what are you doing? You're crazy. It was 3 years between that and the next one. It was 3 years for this one. I've gone from nonfiction to fiction and then back to nonfiction. Only because I only write something if I feel that it moved me in some way, so much so that I thought, A, I need to write this to get it out of me, and B, there's something here that people might be able to relate to. And so maybe that's why they work. That's the best guess I have anyhow.